Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey guys, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. It's Saturday, January 11th. I'm outside because Ron's inside the garage with the heater on, working on the 58 Chevy Apache. I'm going to get started here on Project Miata. It's about, I don't know, 50 degrees out here, which is probably way warmer than most of you guys. But for here in Florida, it's freezing. So I'm going to start on the passenger front suspension. All right, kind of disassembly, kind of give you an idea of what we're going to do. I think I'm going to start, take the brake caliper off, wire tie that up out of the way. Then I think I'm going to probably watch some YouTube videos and make sure I'm going in the right sequence. We'll probably break the hub off and take the rotor off, backing plate, all of that, the hub, get all that off of there, and then start figuring out what I need. I'll probably have to run to AutoZone or O'Reilly's or Advance, one of them, and get some tools at some point. But for now, that's what I'm going to be doing. So should be fun. It's going to be interesting. So just so you guys understand what I'm going to do, if you saw the other video, there's a ton of parts, and right now they're all back in the car. I kind of separated them out and they're in the car. I don't want them to get all dirty. Ron's be grinding in there and stuff. So each part that I take off of this, I'm going to clean, metal condition, and paint, and really try to get them totally restored, right? If it needs something, we'll go get it. If it needs a ball joint, we'll go get a ball joint, press it in. Not the end of the world. If something breaks, we'll replace it. I mean, that's just kind of where we're at with it. So not really too terribly worried about all of it. But this is my first time doing a Miata, so that's fun. But this is a 91. Kind of looks like a little Corky Romano. You know, I think it used to be red. It's had a respray for sure, green. But I see hints of red in certain places, around the keyhole in the trunk lid and stuff like that. So I think it was a red car. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so I started to film me doing this, and then it started to fight me. And being the first time, I decided that I'll video step by step on the driver's side. And I'm gonna fumble my way through and learn on the passenger. So got the brakes off, caliper bracket, all that. That went pretty good. Now I did put all the parts back in the car so that Ron didn't get them all disgusting working on the Apache. But here's where we're at. Alright, caliper, got a wire tied up here. I'm not replacing this ball joint, it's fine. So I got this one off, no problem. This bottom one's fighting me. I'm getting ready to run to O'Reilly's and rent the ball joint removal tool. Clamps on here and pops it off. I'm also going to rent the tool for pressing in control arm bushings. But I got the hub pretty much off. Once this pops free, the hub's off. I did not take the hub off and the backing plate because, quite frankly, it's all good and I don't need to do anything with it. I'm just going to paint it and put it back on here, basically, is what I'm going to do. I got the steering unhooked, one on one side anyway. I got the boot cut off, it's down there. So I've got all of this new, so I'm going to replace that here in a minute. I got the sway bar end link off here. I got new ones of those. I got the vehicle speed sensor off. That came off pretty simple. Now what I am doing, I'm putting the bolts back, right? So I take a bolt out and putting it back, right? I got the bolt here, you know, just trying to not, you can see where I did it on the end link there. I don't want to lose anything, and I don't have the time at the moment to sit here and bag and tag everything, so if it's here, I'll at least know where it goes. So that's where I'm at so far. It's about 1 o'clock. We just ate lunch. I'm gonna run to O'Reilly's, get all the tools that I need that I don't have, and then we'll get into this again. Next we'll be pulling this off, popping this ball joint out, and getting this off, then the hub off, and then from there I'll have to see. We might be at a point of taking the strut off. Shock and strut off, and starting to figure out the lower control arm. I think I'll do the upper last, but I'm gonna look and see, watch another video, and kind of refer to that to make sure I don't do anything wrong. I feel like to get this long bolt out that goes across, I'm probably gonna have to remove this bracket, which isn't the end of the world, I don't think, but we shall see. But anywho's, that's where we're at, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Okay, guys. Welcome back to Project Miata. So, here's where I'm at. Lower control arms off. Strut. Steering arm with tie rod. Brakes. And the hub. That's all off. Now, what that looks like under here is this. I've also got the sway bar loose on this side. Caliper I've got strapped up here, vehicle speed sensors down here. Now, one issue I'm running into is this bolt, this bracket just keeps wanting to turn as I try to take the bolt out, so I got to figure that out. And then I'm going to try to get to this nut with an extension from here, see if I can't get that out that way. But we shall see. That's where I'm at. I just wanted to show you guys something I did pick up while I was at O'Reilly's. He's got some stuff here that's just, some of his undercoating and stuff's just nasty. I think what I'm going to do, on top of painting all this stuff and cleaning all this up, probably paint the calipers and stuff. I think I'm going to undercoat a little bit. I picked up some duplicolor bed armor. I think I'm going to get up in there and give him a fresh coat of black, basically bed liner, but undercoating up in there. We use that stuff on my my Volkswagen thing here, and I'll show you guys up under here, and it works fantastic. So up under our fender wells, we did the whole frame in it, but we used the Raptor bed liner. But anywho's, that's what I'm dealing with here, because this car's got a little bit of rust, and it's got some areas where it's going to rust, and I know it's going to rust, and it's starting to do some things. So I'm going to do some treating on it, a little bit of cleaning. I'll probably get out here and scrub this, and then I'll scrape it, and then I'll probably pour some of it with Pour 15, and then let that dry, and then bed line it, and let all that dry while I'm doing all the parts. And get all that together. Now, something else I did, here's all the parts. I went to O'Reilly's and I went to Advanced. So this is what I'm going to paint all the parts with. VHT roll bar and chassis in gloss black. This stuff works great, and it's almost impossible to run it unless you're just dumb. So, like, if you just stand here with it like this, of course it'll run, but I mean, it lays down great, dries fast, and holds up. So we're going to go with that. Also picked up the old school 10W30, 5 quarts of motor oil, because there isn't any in this thing, which is interesting. But I mean, I think there's probably a quart, maybe. Maybe. There's not enough to register on the dipstick, so we're not running this thing until we put oil in it. But my fear is, once I put oil in it, I expect it to run on the ground, so it's almost going to be an experimental deal. There's a leak somewhere in this, and I need to find it. Where it is, couldn't tell you. Just got to find it. So, somewhere in the midst of this, I can see the valve covers leaking on the back pretty good. Valve cover's leaking pretty good, actually. I might put a valve cover gasket on this while I'm at it, because I got to take the coil packs off anyway and all this. You know, I might just do it. See what transpires here. But for now, that's where I'm at. Now once I get this side off, I'm going to take the air intake off. I'm going to take this tube off. I want access to the alternator, so I'm going to go ahead and do the alternator probably tomorrow. Just because I have really good access to it at that point. But I need to get this tube off, and which should take me all 2 seconds. And then, you know, hopefully nothing crazy there. And while I'm at it, I'll probably clean the throttle body. He was saying that he thinks the throttle body blade is sticking. So we'll fix that problem if it is a problem, and we'll go from there. But yeah, guys, you know how this works. It gets better before it gets worse before it gets better, I guess. So this should look completely different, this side compared to the other side, here in about 2 days. I'm thinking tonight I'll get it all disassembled tonight on this side. It's already going on 4 o'clock, so I'm running out of daylight. It's 3:35. So barring this big bolt doesn't take me forever, get it off, and then I'll go ahead and build the lower control arm with the lower ball joint. I'll go ahead and bust this one off. I got a new one. I believe it's just this bolt here. This one I already got loose. And slide this thing off, clean this, paint it, put the new one on, and then we're down to just pressing these bushings out, pressing the new ones in, and putting it back in the car. Now, I went to Advanced. I looked at O'Reilly's, they didn't have it, but Advanced had it. Kit 46, the ball joint, U-joint service kit. This is what I'm going to use. I've seen on the internet for pushing these bushings out, control arm bushings out and back in. So I'm going to use that. Now if you guys go to rent this, I want to say it was $284 to rent this. You get it all back, but it's one of the more expensive tools I've ever rented. So realistically, I've seen guys that redid their whole suspensions for $200. You're going to have more in that tool than you would redoing your suspension. So just keep that in the back of your head. Something to know. But otherwise, guys, that's what we got going on. I'm going to get back to it before I lose daylight, and I'll bring it all to you in a little bit. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Riding Custom. Project Miata, day 2. This is our end of the night update. So managed to get the entire front passenger side suspension off the car, disassembled. And actually it's right here. I'll show you this. There she is. This is what we got. So plan I have is tomorrow, upper control arm, ball joint's good, not going to change the ball joint, but what I am going to do is I'm going to scuff this up, and I'm going to push out, remove the upper control arm bushings, and then install new urethane upper control arm bushings. And then I'm going to paint this with this VHT roll bar and chassis, gloss black. We'll get that done, and then get this in the car. Same thing on the lower control arm, push out the bushings, push in the new urethane bushings. I have a brand new ball joint. This one is cooked. So we'll zap this bolt out. This one's already loose. And then we'll just paint all this and put it back together. This strut assembly, the only thing I'm using off of this is the spring. So I have brand new KYB, I think Excel G's or something like that, struts. I have brand new top hats. So should be super simple. I might paint the spring either black or silver. We shall see. But I'm detailing with paint. So that'll happen. And you got the brand new strut and everything. That'll look great. And then you got the steering arm with the tie rod. Clearly the tie rod was killed. Let's see if that'll zoom in there. So that was shot. But we have a brand new one. I kept this the way it is. I'm going to count the threads here and install the new tie rod. Per that, I should be pretty close. This car will be going for a front end, or well, for a four-wheel alignment. You know, once we get it done. I did take pictures of my hash marks on my alignment bolts where they were. So I'm going to put them back to where they were. It should be pretty close. And then when it comes to the brakes here, rotor's good. I'm going to pull the caliper bracket off, paint it, and then I'm also going to paint the backing plate and the hub here, or the knuckle. And then gloss black. I got some with that VHT high heat, or roll bar and chassis, I should say. And then this hub is good, and the backing plate's good. There's really no reason to mess with any of that. It does not need to be replaced. So we'll get all this together, and then I'm probably going to paint the calipers as well. I don't know what color. I'm going to ask Eden what he likes, and then we'll go from there. I think red would look good. I don't know, or silver. I don't know, something different, not rusty metal, right? So probably do that, and then so tomorrow the idea is to get all of this assembled, painted, ready to go back in the car, right? And then I also would like in the wheel well, it's got some undercoating that's peeling and whatnot. So I picked up this duplicolored bed armor. It's basically a spray-on bed liner undercoating. Now I use this stuff. Well, I use the Raptor bed liner kit on the 73 Volkswagen thing. It's on inside all my fenders, the frame on both sides, the floor, inside the engine bay, inside the trunk here. I mean, it's killer. And I'm trying to preserve this car for the kid without spending $1 million. So I think if I can clean some of that up, if I find any rust, I'll treat it. I'll hit it with Pour 15, and then I'll hit it with the bed liner. With the undercoating, wow, that went bad. I'll hit it with the bed liner, and we'll go from there. And it should look really good up in there. It'll look very clean, which I think is what we're looking for. I'm also going to pull the sway bar tomorrow. I've got it half out, but I'm going to paint that silver, and just so it has some contrast. I'd like for you, if this ever gets wheels, which it probably will, to be able to look through that wheel and see a nice brake caliper, some detail to the spring, the sway bar. When you look up under there, if you ever took the wheel off, you'd look in the wheel well and it looks like a new Miata, right? It looks classy. Not this. This is old and crusty. Now the good news here, guys, is this car only has like 75 or 76,000 miles on it, something like that. So I had a lot of luck with these bolts. A lot of them just broke free by hand. Took a little persuading, but nothing crazy. So hopefully the other three sides go the same way, and we can just blow right through all this stuff. So anyway, that's the end of Project Miata Day 2. I doubt you guys can even see it. Maybe a little bit. Tomorrow should be a really good day for the car. And this whole wheel well should look completely different. And we'll get it all cleaned up and ready. And then probably Monday I'll reassemble it. With as cold as it is here in Florida, it's in the 40s right now. What I'd really like to do is let this dry and everything cure for 24 hours kind of thing before I go trying to put it back on. So see where that goes, and it's probably going to take me most of the day to get all this stuff cleaned up and ready and prepped and all the things. So see where it goes. But day 2, day 3 will be cleaning all that up. Day 4 will be reassembly of the passenger, and then we'll go to the driver's side front, blow it apart, put everything together, rock and roll. Do the same thing over there, and then we're going to the back. Now tomorrow, something else I am going to do, I'm going to install the alternator. I'd like to install the alternator tomorrow if I can. Since I have all of this off, it gives me a lot of clearance. I'm I'm just staring at it, so there's no reason not to do it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and throw that in while I'm there. I talked to my wife about some things on this. We might do some things to this above and beyond for the guy. Not that this isn't already above and beyond, but you know, try to help the kid out, make this thing a little bit nicer for him. So we'll see where all that goes, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel.